We've heard a lot about threats to democracy lately and the rule of law. See what you think about this. A New Mexico State District judge just opened literally the Pandora's box. Judge Francis Matthew removed a county commissioner from office for his role in the January 6th riot. The judge cites the 14th Amendment. Section 3 bars any person from holding federal or state office who took an oath to support the Constitution of the United States as an officer of any state and engaged in insurrection or rebellion or gave aid or comfort to insurrectionists. Comes from right after the Civil War. But Otero County Commissioner Couy Griffin was convicted of entering a restricted zone near the Capitol during January 6th, a misdemeanor akin to a traffic ticket. He was not convicted nor charged with insurrection. Keep in mind, the provision hasn't been used since 1869 by a judge. It was created to keep Confederate leaders from running for office, but it will not be the last time we see it used in court. Jameel Jaffer is here, director of the National Security Institute. Boy, this seems like a slippery slope.
Well, Leland, look, I mean, I think it's obviously a tough question, right? Some of these issues turn on what you think was happening at the Capitol on January 6th and whether it was insurrection or not, and whether somebody who participated in it was engaged in insurrection or whether they have to be convicted of that crime, accused and convicted of it. In this case, as you correctly point out, this county commissioner was convicted of entering a restricted area of the Capitol and sentenced to 14 days in jail, but he was not convicted of or even charged with that larger crime. And so the question becomes, can this New Mexico judge bar him from holding office under the 14th Amendment's provision?
Right. It seems as though this is going to be appealed and then it's going to be fought, might be fought in federal court as well. But I'm thinking about a misdemeanor. If all of a sudden somebody is charged, even somebody like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right, is charged with obstructing a public street as she was outside the Supreme Court, protesting the Roe decision. And someone wants to call that insurrection, even though it was clearly not. You're going to have both sides making cases that this is somebody who's an insurrectionist based on a misdemeanor charge.
Well, look, there's certainly a possibility that might happen. I think, obviously, as you can imagine, what happened on January 6th, I think is viewed by a lot of folks as qualitatively different, right?
Oh, no,
and so then the question, Leland, is, right. So then the question is, well, what about something happening in the streets of Portland or Seattle, right? Is that insurrection against the government? And if that is, then are we having a debate there too? So that's, I think, where this debate comes up. Less probably, protests the Supreme Court and maybe riots in major cities, attacks on federal buildings, right? That's, I think, where this is going to come up more. And you have somebody who wants to hold public office, who currently holds public office, right? And again, a lot of this turns on, what does the 14th Amendment mean in the context?
How is it that some random judge in New Mexico, I don't understand if this was the Supreme Court or the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals or something like that, but it's some random judge in New Mexico. That means doesn't it mean a random judge anywhere can make these determinations?
Well, that's a great point. Look, I mean, we do give judges in our system, whether federal or state, a lot of power over individuals. We give them the power to lock people up for life in criminal proceedings. And in this case, this judge has asserted the power under the federal Constitution to bar a state office holder from holding office. There's a separate question here, Leland, of federalism, right? Can the federal Constitution bar a state from deciding who it wants in office, right? The states are obviously part of the federal government, but they are sovereigns in their own right. And so that also raises interesting questions about federalism and the ability of the Constitution to control those questions for an individual state.
Yeah, it's a fascinating kind of moment that we are in, and we're lucky to have you take us through it. Thank you. Good to see you. It's been too long.
Thanks for having me, Leland.
All right. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.